And I quote, how many times a week do you do the laundry?
What the heck? Like, I'd get really mad. How did you handle the poop thing?
But everyone always asks if we're gonna have a baby, if we're ready to have a baby soon, what's happening with that. So I'm just gonna let Ryan answer. Every time I'm like, whew, whew, wow. So I've been wanting to do this video because one, it's our 10-year anniversary, which is so exciting. Oh, love. I love you. But also, I don't know, for me personally, I feel like luckily I had you where I learned a lot about relationships from you. I feel like just being really open in our communication.
That's well,
I just mean like I felt comfortable asking you a lot of stuff and like communicating a lot, but I don't feel like a lot of girls especially have people that they can ask like some of those questions to. Even like you have a great relationship with moms and sisters, but it's still sometimes really hard. So that is what I want to do, is just to answer all of those like questions.
Real questions.
This is not going to be like, how'd you guys meet? We have that video. We have another Q&A. That's there. I'm just saying, like, this is not just like the, this is like down and dirty questions.
Katie's really into these down and dirty questions.
Well, because that's like all there is.
I know. I looked at some. You guys are asking
savages.
Real good ones.
So I think I'm gonna start with YouTube questions. I did a poll on, or like a question on YouTube and on Instagram, so I'm gonna pull from both, but let's start with YouTube. Is intimacy any different having lost weight in the relationship, and how'd you get over roadblock? How do you separate yourself from wanting to lose weight mainly to go on dates with people or to have a relationship?
That's a multi-part question.
It's a lot of questions, yeah. But so I think for me, like I had to start with my focus not being on losing weight to try to date someone, because that's like where all my twisted stuff came from the beginning. So it was really just about me, and I think that's what allowed me to be very open when we met, because I wasn't focused on my body. I mean, I was in the sense I was trying to be healthy, but I wasn't worried about my body image.
Yeah, I mean, when we met, Katie this was pre-weight loss journey, so yeah.
I was my heaviest when we met. Like I had kind of like a month or two started my journey, but I didn't really lost any weight yet. I do remember being a little insecure, like thinking like, oh, he's smaller than me, which wasn't true, but just, you know, you get twisted body dysmorphia in your head. So that was like, it was a little uncomfortable for me at the time, but I think that the only way that it's changed over time is I've become more confident in myself, and that's not really even having to do with my weight. It's just like that development work that I've done over the years.
Yeah, I mean, intimacy wise, like I think it's pretty similar, like for us, like just when you love someone, I don't think you don't really notice. Like I always tell Katie, I didn't really notice when the weight loss happened. Like at the end of it, we looked back and I was like, whoa, wait a second. But like I didn't really like, the whole time it wasn't like, oh wow, she just like is thinner now or whatever. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think it changed intimacy wise, but of course, yeah, like there is a level of, now at this point, like I find Katie to be very sexy. So yeah, not that I didn't before, but I think it's elevated now. So does it help? Sure, it helps. Yeah, it doesn't hurt anything, but I think like deep down, it's very similar.
Yeah. So kind of a similar one, but how do you get over insecurities in the bedroom? That is something like I did deal with personally. I don't know if you did, but I've dealt with that personally. And it wasn't so much about my weight. It was just like being intimate in general, and you're very vulnerable. I think for me, the only way that I got over those was one, obviously like building that confidence, but talking to Ryan, like talking to him about things I was feeling, what was working, what wasn't working, like what I needed more of, and not being afraid of like how you would respond to that. Yeah,
I mean, everyone's gonna have stuff that they're into and that like turns them on, and so if you don't talk about it, you're just gonna hold it inside, and probably just bad things are gonna happen from that point on. So the more you can just share that stuff, I feel like for us, that's been huge.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do, but then again, if you are with somebody and you don't share those things, you feel like you can never share those things, then like where does that lead you?
Yeah, I feel like this is a good one for you.
Okay.
I'll just summarize the question. So a woman on here said that she found out her husband has been like looking at other girls on the internet, catch my drift, and like on even like just social media sites and stuff, like bikinis, even like that kind of stuff too. And she said he's never given her a reason to feel like insecure, like he would cheat or anything else, but obviously that makes her feel insecure. Plus she recently had a baby. I think this is true for a lot of girls, whether you've recently had a baby or not, like that can make you feel super insecure. So I guess she's mostly asking like, what are your thoughts on that? Like makes her feel beautiful all the time too, but it's like, a weird...
I mean, I think to some degree, just on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, whatever, like it's gonna be nearly impossible for that not to be the case, at least on social media. Beyond that, I mean, yeah, that's personal choice. Yeah. But at least on social media, like that's just gonna be kind of all out there. It just is what it is. So depends on the level of it, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Like if you're feeling like that's something that's a problem for you, you should definitely communicate that. I think that it depends also on how much you two date each other, how much you two put into making your relationship exciting for the other person. And that like goes both ways, you know, like you both have to do that. And so if he's doing that like to a really high degree, then there may be a reason, right? And so that may be a very simple thing that like you could just figure out like what is it that's maybe missing and try to infuse some of that back in. But then at a minimum, just talk to him about it. And if it bugs you, say something.
Because at the end of the day, if it bothers you, like, I mean, so I've been really open with you guys. I was cheated on a ton in the past. And so although Ryan's never given me any reason to worry about our relationship, you just have these insecurities that are kind of ingrained in you. And I think it's hard to like shake that. And there's times that maybe it bugs you more than others. But yeah, if you feel like it's an unhealthy amount that he's seeking that out and stuff, then like maybe there's an issue there. And I think that communication is like the only way to figure out what that could mean. Someone did ask that if either of us have ever cheated on each other.
If we've cheated on each other?
Yeah, I mean, people do and stay married or stay together.
Breaking news in this video.
We've never cheated on each other. What is your biggest fear in our relationship?
I've never really thought about that, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I guess like I'm pretty confident in our relationship. I mean, obviously I think Katie is beautiful. She's sexy. You know, and like she obviously, we're like on her Instagram or TikTok or whatever, like she's in bathing suits, whatever, but like none of that bothers me. Like it doesn't bother me when guys make creepy comments. I think it used to. Like initially, like it was like, what the heck? Like I'd get really mad, and now I'm just like, whatever, that just is what it is. I think it's just like always me wanting to be able to like satisfy you and make you happy, and I think that's like important to me, but I don't know that it's a fear.
Oh, that's sweet. I think my biggest fear would be, if I'm being like very honest, which is like, I don't want to cry. So I don't know where this came from, but when we've talked about like starting a family and stuff, I think my biggest fear has been anything disrupting what we have, because
oh yeah, that's true, that's a good one.
I love our relationship so much, and so it's like that battle of the idea of something just enhancing that, making it even deeper and more beautiful, but then the fear, I guess, that comes in is like, what if it ruins it? And that's just like very transparent with you guys. Yeah.
No,
I don't like. I'm not gonna let that stop. Like, because I know they're so beautiful, but I think that that's like.
I've had that. I definitely have that fear as well, because we do so much stuff that's fun and great, and our relationship's so strong, and it could make it way better, but it could also like make it different, and. Yeah,
and I know it will, but I guess like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously just like losing you in general.
Well, yeah. I don't want to die.
I'm totally being messy.
No, what are you not? My gosh, I feel like
it's like
non-stop.
Mercury in retrograde.
Oh,
like, how about we just say when it's not, like when it's not.
Mercury's always in retro something.
Okay, I'm gonna hop over to the Instagram questions. But as I go over there, someone asked if we have phases of intimacy. I guess it's up for interpretation of what that means exactly.
Phases. I don't know that we have phases. I think like we always talk about like vacation intimacy is awesome. We love vacation intimacy because we are really busy. So like, yes, that does affect it for sure, more than we'd like.
Yeah.
And we have to be very like aware of that and try to make sure it doesn't affect it. When we go on vacation, even though we're still working and like doing stuff and we're busy, for some reason it's just game on. It's all good. But no, like otherwise, I mean, I think we try to keep it pretty consistent.
Yeah. Someone asked like on that, like how do we keep it spicy when we're around each other all of the time? I mean, we literally are together 24/7. It's like weird when we're not. It's like very rare.
Someone asked me that last night, like, is it hard being like, you know, you work together, you know, obviously live together. Is that hard, like being around your partner 24/7? I was like, no, I mean, it's not really.
Because you love me.
Yeah.
I think keeping it spicy, like we just put in a lot of effort. Like we show up, we have date nights, we try to do like dates during the week.
Mm-hmm.
we get dressed up for each other. Like I do my hair, I do my
Yeah, I
makeup,
think
I
if we're
wear
being
sexy outfits.
very real, like
Yeah.
Katie dresses what I think is very sexy most of the time, and I really appreciate that. Like that makes a huge difference. Like any guy that says it doesn't matter, I think is full of it to some degree.
But
like,
I think there's some guys who don't, it makes them super insecure.
well, if they're insecure, then that's a
Yeah.
whole nother issue.
Yeah.
But
then they want to watch sexy girls. Like it's
yeah, like so I think you have to like open that line of communication so that like you
Yeah.
can understand if that is important to the person. So whether it's like in the bedroom or just going out, like Katie's super sexy, puts in effort, and that is like everything. So I think that really like keeps the intimacy level, the spicy level, like
Yeah.
And I also feel like I put in effort to like encourage that in our relationship,
do.
like to where like I'm just very like open with Katie of like, yeah, that's important to me, that would be cool, or like I will like buy her something like an outfit or something
Yeah.
that I think is sexy to wear, and I think that just makes it easier. Like it kind of like gets things going,
Yeah.
and then she does whatever she wants to do.
I also think like I've gone through phases where I used to like think about stuff as like, oh, like I'm wearing this for him, or like do it, and I'm not just saying like Ryan, like in a relationship, right? Like you think about it like, I roll, like they want me to do this thing. And I think that like as I've gotten more confident and comfortable with myself, I realize like things make me feel sexy. So I want to wear what makes me feel good and makes me feel sexy, because then I feel like I show up as a better partner. I feel more confident in myself. So I think it's like really thinking about like, what are you doing that makes you feel good, and that keeps it spicy.
Yeah. And there's gonna be a lot of people that have like different standards for what they want to
Yeah.
wear. Like you do you, that's whatever. But this is what works for us.
Yes.
Dad, if you're still watching, this is your cue to stop. Okay, so you guys were asking like how we keep it spicy, and like what I was saying was like I do things that make me feel confident. So like my clothes and stuff, there I feel sexy and confident. But like this is my special drawer.
It's a big drawer for a
It's
reason.
a big drawer. So this is
These
my
are smaller drawers. These are larger drawers.
this is underwear. This is my lingerie drawer. And I know people have mixed feelings about it, but like for me, again, this is about Ryan and I and our relationship and what makes me feel sexy, what makes me feel good, and I feel sexy.
Try
So
it.
that's my opinion, because that was a lot of questions too, so got you.
I just have to say, you guys, my favorite is in the questions where people are asking super intimate, like personal questions, but then they try to like not say the actual words. So they'll use like things like, do the laundry, or like, just ask the question.
That's funny.
It's really funny. My boyfriend and I are never in the mood at the same time. Tips.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's rough.
that's unfortunate. Never? Never is a strong.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta freaking rip the Band-Aid. That's my advice. Like, honestly, I know that that sounds like, but like, if you feel like you're never in the mood at the same time, well, okay, one of two things. Rip the Band-Aid, or maybe consider there's something deeper going on there that you might need to address.
I think yeah, I mean, I wouldn't like encourage, like, I don't necessarily think you need to like plan sex nights, whatever, but to some degree, if that's a problem, like, why don't you just plan a date night, plan to go out for a little bit, go get a drink, like whatever your thing is, and then just like, let it be known, like, tonight, it's happening. We're doing this. Like, everyone's like, we're in the mood, like, we're going out, like, we're having some fun, whatever you guys like to do, and then come back, and then you're like, let's go.
But yeah, I think that's the thing. You gotta like figure out like what's gonna, like what are those things that make you feel good? Again, going back to making you feel good, feel sexy, feel confident, and like plan that fun night and just see what happens. How do we prevent pregnancy?
How do we prevent pregnancy?
Well, we just got done saying we love sex. So.
Yeah. Yeah, Katie's not on birth control anymore, as you
No,
know, because a previous video. Just remove myself from the equation at the right time.
Yep.
Let's
There
do
you go.
let's do a demonstration. This is currently sex. This is the end of it.
This is so embarrassing.
It works. He's got to be.
But.
Doesn't always work.
Yeah, like my best girlfriend, one of my best girls, has always said, every basketball player has to dribble before he shoots. So I'm not saying that's like the safety, but I also do track my periods and ovulation and
Yes.
everything. So
We know.
that helped. But everyone always asks if we're gonna have a baby, if we're ready to have a baby soon, what's happening with that. So I'm just gonna let Ryan answer.
Great. We're getting closer to that point. I think we're definitely feeling like that could be a great part of our future and to expand our family that way. So yeah, I think like That's definitely, I just told Katie the other day, every time this comes up, she's either like crying or like something. I'm like, this feels like a terrible thing. Why are you crying every time? Can we have happy conversations about a baby maybe? If we can, then I'm like, okay, feeling good about this. The vibe feels better. So
we've been praying a lot about it, and really just praying that like God can take away any of the fears and hesitation if that's what is meant for us. So
it's hard. We are like, it's just like at the end of the day, it comes out we're really busy, and that's not like we're too busy for a kid, like whatever. It's not about that, but just like we have a lot going on that we're trying to do and achieve in our lives, and it is tough when you're like, I just don't know. Like you were saying earlier, I don't know what that'll do. I think we both have a great feeling about it. Like it would be a great addition. We can handle it just like we've handled a lot of things. So it'll probably be fine. So we just
we're in it together. So there's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll keep you guys posted. Is it bad to hook up on the first date?
Oh.
I mean, we made out in a parking lot.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on like what level we're talking here.
I mean, I think if they're saying hook up, it means like something more. I don't think it's bad personally, just in general. But I would say like if that's what transpires on the first date, then like is it gonna be more? Mm-hmm. You know, like is it really gonna be more?
Why buy the cow and you get the milk for free? I don't know. I think that like, I don't know that bad's the right word. I think every person in every situation, it's gonna just depend on how you're feeling.
I mean, a first date could definitely just get hot and heavy and you're like, all right, we're just like so into this, we gotta just do it. I mean, hey, whatever. It's not bad. It's not bad, it just might not work out the way you want it to. From a guy's perspective, like, yeah, it might not go right, so.
Yeah. How many kids do we want to have? Like, one? Question mark.
Firm.
The question
one.
Is like the maybe one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But a firm one. We're pretty clear on this. I mean, so it could change, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just do a couple more because there's like a lot. But I'm gonna have you look too and see if there's any.
It's a great question. One that needs to be asked in any relationship. Pooping in front of each other. And more important, how did you handle the poop thing? I think it was like, there's a question before this, back when you had sleepovers or during first dating, how did you handle that?
So let me tell you a little story. One of Ryan and I's first dates, we went to look at Christmas lights and we got burgers. And I mean, this is like pretty early on because we started dating in October, so this is December. Although we got engaged in March, so it's like short timeline. But I didn't eat beef. I still don't eat like regular beef because it makes my stomach a hot mess. I had one bite of his burger, and as you can imagine, it was a horrible night. But I kept trying to beg him to take me home to my parents because it was so embarrassing, and I was just like, this is not okay. But he was like, no, and he like wanted to take care of me and nurture me. I think that's when I fell in love with you. Like, I mean, I was already like loving on you.
So the
but,
pooping
like,
question.
I think I like
it's really
knew,
the genesis of our love story.
I was like, why does he want me here right now? This is weird.
I don't know. Maybe guys do. I don't care. Like, yeah, like. Our bathroom doesn't even have a door on it, so
Ryan celebrates when I poo because I have such bad constipation issues. So he'd literally be like, yeah.
I mean,
so we're weird.
I don't know. We don't care. Door. Literally, we don't close the doors for going to the bathroom. So no.
That's our pooping life.
Yeah. Do you want to rapid fire some of these?
Rapid fire. Go. Yeah.
Ever thought of getting divorced?
No.
No.
Not even like.
Never.
Nope.
I like someone who's back with his ex that cheated on him. They have a kid. Thoughts? Stay far, far away. That sounds like bunch of. I want to take your comment and then just put a bunch of red flag emojis on it, and then they'll just leave it there. Do you always want to have sex, / always enjoy it when you do? I would say that, like, I mean, sometimes I'm just tired, just damn tired from workouts or from the day. So no, not always. Do we enjoy it when we do? I'd say yes, every single time.
Yes. I'm not joking, you guys. Like when I said it's different with a person you're married to, sex has gotten better and better and better every single time over the years.
How do you flirt better?
I'm horrible at flirting, so don't ask me.
I don't know. I mean, I think put yourself out there. You gotta put yourself out there. Most people like feel like they're gonna get rejected, and that's why you don't flirt well, probably. So just don't worry about it. Like, who cares? At the end of the day, if they're not interested, they're not gonna be interested, even if you really did, like, were the best flirter ever.
Yeah.
But I think keep a little mystery to it. Don't be too, like, over, like, oh, I'm all over you, right?
Yeah.
Nobody wants somebody like clinging onto their shoulder at first.
But also, you guys, I was always the one that was like, ugh. You know, all the like, I was such a stereotypical girl with stuff. I'm like, I don't want him to like me too much, or like, blah, blah. It's like annoying. But then Ryan like texted me immediately, called me after to make sure I got home, like would text me every day, like starting the next day, and I loved it. But in the past, like other people did it, and I was like, ew. But it was perfect.
How did you know he was the right one for you? Do you ever fight? Some tips on communicating better?
Literally, communication sucks so hard sometimes. That's a weird phrase, but you know what I mean? Like, I was not good at it. Ryan is a aggressive communicator. Like, he just will overly communicate everything. So we kind of meet in the middle. But I think for me, like, that's been the biggest, like, amazing lesson is like you forcing that communication out of me, because it's made our relationship so much better.
Yeah, the tips for it are just to do it.
Yeah.
Like, to do it in a way that just expresses, try to, I don't even always do this the best, but expresses your feelings. Like, I'm feeling this way.
Yeah. Not you're making me.
Right.
Or you whatever. Yeah. Like, very like I language, I think helps.
Yep.
And yeah, I saw another question too about like long distance, cheating on a break, whatever. Like, if they are your person, they will show up, they will call, there won't be breaks. There won't, like, it just like, I feel like it shouldn't be that complicated. People want to know, and I quote, how many times a week do you do the laundry? So really, like, how many times a week do we have sex? Because I think a lot of people are like, what's normal? Like, you watch shows and you hear things where you're like, wow, I feel like guys are supposed to like want sex all the time, and I'm supposed to be doing it all the time, and that's a healthy relationship. Like, it's different for everyone, I think, for sure. For us, I would say, like, honestly, it depends on the week and depends on what's going on. It's not that we ever are less interested in each other, like, but yeah, you're busy and sometimes it's just literally not on your mind, or you physically don't have time. Yeah. But we try to as often as possible.
I would say like usually 2 to 3 times a week is like where we're at.
Unless you're on vacation.
Unless you're on vacation, then every single day.
But like whether it's like 1 time a week or 20 times a week, like it's really about like what is satisfying you. So if you are feeling like unsatisfied because you're not having it enough with your partner, well then that's a problem. Yeah. But if you're like, no, I'm perfectly happy with the way that things ebb and flow, like, then great, it doesn't matter.
Just check to make sure they are too.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, so you both have to be happy, but I think it's personal. Yeah. What would you say is like your biggest thing from 10 years of marriage? Like whether it's like a lesson or just like how you're feeling at this point.
I mean, I'm feeling great. Yeah. I really have enjoyed the last 10 years and it's better than I thought it would be, but I think that just comes down to having a partner who puts in effort every single day to make it that way. Don't cry again. But that makes a huge difference. If you don't put in effort and you just expect it to work out, like even the best relationship will probably have trouble with that.
Yeah, you have to show up. I mean, it's true for everything in life, but you have to show up for each other every day and continue to work on it and find the opportunities to like do better and do more, but you have to want to do that for the person. Like, you have to really want that. You can't force it.
Because I think that if you put in that effort, right, if you do the things like that we're talking about that have worked for us, and then that other person, your partner's not reciprocating that, it's a really clear way to find out, is this the right person for me? Yeah. Do they care about me the same way I care about them? Because if you're doing all those things and they're like, I'm not gonna do that, then that's not the right person. You should probably find somebody else and move on.
Yeah, I think for us too, it's like, you know, we're still always learning a lot about each other, and because we both are evolving and growing as individuals as well. So I think that it's about trying to figure out too what makes that person tick and what makes them feel loved and respected, like what do they need? Because maybe the way that you're trying to express that isn't hitting with them in the right way. And so you're like, well, I'm doing all these things and they're not getting it. Like maybe like you have to kind of sit back and see what you can tweak. So that's something I think both of us are always working on. Yeah. I hope you guys found this helpful. I know there was a lot of juice in there for you, but
a lot of questions we didn't get to.
Yeah, a lot we didn't get to. So if you like this video, definitely hit the thumbs up, but comment down below if you want us to do more and drop any questions you guys have. I cannot believe we've been married 10 years. I cannot wait to go to Mexico with you and celebrate. We love you so much. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.